Let's put it all together to see how Andrew file system enables authorized users who are members of a campus community to log in remotely from workstation over insecure links and use private key crypto system to validate the users and allow them to get useful work done on the workstation. They log in using their username and password. They get back a pair of tokens, the secret token and clear token. And this is the first communication that happens between Venus and Vice. Venus can then establish an RPC session on behalf of the client by using the secret token and HKC. That's the second class of communication that happens between Venus and Vice. And as a result of this session establishment, what Venus gets back is a session key for use in this particular RPC session. Subsequently, anytime the user opens a file or closes a file or writes to a file, all those file system calls that requires Venus to communicate with Vice is going to be sent as secure RPC using the secret token as the client ID and SK, the session key, as the private key for encrypting the message that it wants to send to Vice. And similarly, Vice is going to send back responses using the session key. So this is the third class of client-server interaction that I mentioned. So there are three classes of client-server interaction. The first one is login, second one is RPC session establishment, and the third one is the actual secure RPC calls that are being made for manipulating the file system that resides in the central server. So the upshot of this structure that Andrew file system provides for the user community is that the username and password is exposed only once per login session. So in other words, if a student logs in to a workstation once or twice a day, it's only that many number of times that the username and passwords are going to be used on this insecure network. The handshake key that Venus gets back as a result of setting up a login session for a user is used only for new RPC sessions. That's the second class of communication. And the validity of this handshake key is the duration of the login session. You know that passwords have a longer validity. It is valid as long as you don't change your password. But the duration of this HKC that is used for RPC session establishment, that is only for the duration of the login session. Once the user has logged off and left this workstation, the secret token and the clear token are thrown away by Venus. So the duration of this HKC is only for this login session. And the session key is used for all the RPC calls that Venus is making on behalf of this client for manipulating the file system. And the duration of SK is the duration of a given RPC session. For instance, within one login session, let's say I have 3 different RPC sessions. For each of those distinct RPC sessions, I'm going to get a unique session key. And I'm going to use that session key only for that particular RPC session. Once that is done, I cannot reuse that key anymore. I'll have to reestablish a new RPC session, get a new session key, and restart the RPC session. So in this lesson module as a whole, first we looked at taxonomies proposed by Salzer. And then we saw how we can build a practical system which can be used by a campus community for securely accessing information, in this case, files stored in a central repository through the Andrew file system. Now it is time for a question that is really asking you to think about the Andrew file system and its strengths and weaknesses with respect to providing security guarantees for the user community.